Last month, I did a 6-day launch promotion for my membership, Freedom Creator Club. And spoiler alert, we brought in $17,201 in 6 days from a low ticket membership. And that's cash collected, money we actually brought in, not some revenue number that we hope comes in later. I personally hate when people track their numbers like that. And in this video, I want to walk you through our entire strategy of how we made that happen, what methods we used to sell, which methods made the most sales, which methods made the least sales, what I would do again next time, and what I would improve again for next time. So if you'd be thrilled to make $17,201 in 6 days, then let's dive into the video and make it happen. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Molly. I started as a broke college dropout. This was my crappy car. I had just 81 cents to my name, and I somehow leveraged that into a multiple six-figure per year photography studio. Other people started asking me how I did it, so I started to create free content and paid digital info products online, and I grew that into a $2 million per year digital info products business. And now I help content creators and aspiring content creators just like you to grow their followings and monetize their followings with digital info products so you can help your followers on a deeper level and make a full-time living doing what you love. Okay, so first let's talk about what is a launch. So a launch is just a fancy word for a promotion. In my eyes, a launch should really mean the first time you're launching something into the world. But in the internet marketing world, people pretty much call every type of promotion a launch. I don't know why. So sound off in the comments about that one. But that's why I kind of call it like a launch promotion, because this is not the first time that we've ever sold my membership Freedom Creator Club, but this was a pretty big promotion for it. So again, it was 6 days, and we did a number of strategies between cart open and cart close to bring in those sales for the membership. So what is my membership Freedom Creator Club, and how much does it cost? So Freedom Creator Club is my membership that's going to help you grow a following on YouTube and then monetize that following with digital info products so that you can create something like an ebook or a workshop to bring in consistent passive sales for your business and help your followers on a deeper level. Okay, now people are probably wondering what dates were the launch and what did we actually do to do promotions between those dates. Okay, so the launch actually happened January of 2024, and we did a waitlist cart open January 21 and January 22. So this was Sunday and Monday. So about a month before the launch, we actually sent out a bunch of emails bringing people to the waitlist and saying, hey, get on this waitlist so that you'll be first to hear about when the doors to Freedom Creator Club open again. And you'll also have a chance to get a special bonus. So we did have a special bonus for those who signed up during the waitlist days. Then January 23 through 26, because doors closed on the 26th, on the 23rd, it was a Tuesday, and we did a live webinar. And then on Friday, the cart close day, the 26th, we also did an encore live webinar. We didn't do any replays at all for the live webinars. So we were like, hey, if you didn't make a live webinar on Tuesday, we are going to do an encore webinar on Friday. So really, we did a combination of waitlist, special bonuses that expired every single day, and we ended up doing 2 live webinars. So I'm going to break this all down in much more detail, but that's the overview. And if you want to see my exact webinar from this launch, or you simply just want to learn how you can create your own digital products for consistent passive income, click the very first link in the description below this video, and it's going to give you the opportunity to attend my free webinar. It's a recording of the actual webinar from the launch. And not only is it going to cover how you can turn your passion into your own profitable digital product, it's also going to cover how you can actually grow a following of people who want to buy your digital products. And it's also going to go over my Freedom Creator method so that you can learn how to actually sell your digital products consistently for consistent passive income. So again, if you want to watch the exact training from our launch and learn everything I just mentioned, then click the first link in the description below this video to watch it on demand completely for free. So first, I really want to talk about my approach with this launch, and then I'm going to break down and share with you every single number. So I have my phone right here with our tracker spreadsheet, and I'm going to break down all the numbers with you guys as well. But one thing that I've learned is I see a lot of other people doing launches, and in my opinion, I feel like they really overcomplicate it. They're doing like affiliate stuff. They're getting on podcasts. Like it seems like they're waiting almost until the launch to really start building their audience. Whereas I'm consistently building my audience all year long. So I don't necessarily need to do things like getting affiliates on board or being on tons of podcasts leading up to the launch or doing tons of pre-launch content or doing tons of Instagram stories or reels or anything like that. I like to do what I like to call a lazy launch. But really, it's not lazy. In my opinion, it's just smart. You're really focusing in on the few things that actually drive most the numbers. And you're not doing a lot of the things that I think a lot of people do, maybe based on ego. And I know that might sound harsh, but personally, I've tracked a lot of data with Instagram and the numbers just aren't there. I think a lot of people think they just need to be on Instagram, or maybe they like doing stories. I personally like to focus on building my following all year long and then really dialing into the few things that are going to bring in the most students so that we can help the most people. The other thing is a lot of people really focus on revenue, whereas I like to focus on profit. I notice a lot of people, they have these big revenue numbers, but I always tell people, ask them how much they spent on ads. Because just because they made 6 figures or multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures on the launch, how much of that are they actually keeping? Ads have become very expensive now. I don't like to run ads. I actually haven't run ads in my business for well over a year and a half now, and I certainly didn't run any paid advertising for this launch either. And again, if you want to see my exact webinar that I did for this launch that just crushed it for us, go in the first link in the description below this video and you can watch it on demand now. Okay, now let's break down the launch, every single thing we did, every number, all of that stuff. So now the first thing we did was a waitlist. Now waitlist has never really been like a huge part of my strategy, but I really crafted about a month's worth of emails. I sent out 1 to 2 a week that were nurture-based, that invited people to join the waitlist page. And we ended up getting 119 people registered for the waitlist, which I was surprised at how low that was, considering we had between 17,000 and 18,000 active email subscribers during the time of this launch. So I probably can obviously improve my strategy with the waitlist, or maybe we just remove it altogether. Unsure yet. Then we had the waitlist cart open for just 2 days for the waitlisters, and we had a special bonus for them where they would get a special live YouTube training to discover their niche with me. And we ended up having 8 total purchasers during the 2 days that the waitlist was open. And I don't really have anything to compare this against, but it does seem low to me, but I don't know. So again, we will probably try to improve it a couple more times. And then if we can't, we'll probably just get rid of it and focus on the strategies that work better. But I just wanted to share those numbers with you guys. Okay, by far the biggest thing that brought in the most sales was the first webinar we did on Tuesday of the launch. This is webinar number 1. We had 619 people register for this webinar, and we promoted it via our email list. And then I did do a couple community tab posts on YouTube. I was just sort of testing it out. And it did seem to bring us some registration, so that was cool. The landing page of people who landed on the opt-in page and opted in for the live webinar was 43.41%. So I think that's pretty good. Live attendance, we had 37.8% people that registered actually attend live, which was super cool. The percentage of people that were on when I actually presented the offer was 26.82%. So I could probably work on keeping more people on the actual training longer. So that's something I could improve. And we ended up converting 38 people into Freedom Creator Club just during that live training alone, which was awesome. It was like 1.5 hours long. So 38 sales in 1.5 hours is pretty cool. Oh, and for some reason, we don't have the money written down from the waitlist. I know we had 8 sales, but the cash collected brought in from webinar number 1 was $6,368. Keep in mind, this is a low ticket membership. We're talking like $59 a month here. And then we have like yearly option as well. And we also got an additional 13 sales that happened that same day after the webinar. That could have been from people who bought like right after it ended or bought later that day. Now, after the waitlist, and then we did the webinar number 1 on Tuesday, and then each of those days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we had a bonus for each of those days that expired each day to really give people urgency and scarcity to buy that day. So those really help with conversions as well. But let's talk about webinar number 2 now that happened Friday. So we didn't promote this one until after webinar number 1 was over. And we simply just said, hey, we're not doing any replays. We were very upfront about that from the beginning, that we weren't doing any replays. So we were like, hey, if you missed the first webinar, now you can come to Friday's webinar. That's an encore. So we definitely didn't promote it as much. but we still ended up getting 198 people in attendance for that live webinar. 44% of the people who landed on the page actually opted in to attend the live webinar. The live attendance was 49.49%. Oh, the amount of people who were on during the offer was 49.49% as well. So I'm not sure if that's a glitch, but it could be that the people that were attending the encore were like way more serious, maybe. I'm not sure. And then we had 11 conversions and we did $2,693 cash collected from webinar number 2. And then we had 9 more post-webinar conversions on that day as well. Now I'm going to break down the amount of people that bought monthly, yearly, or unlimited. And then I'm also going to break down like the total sales as well. Okay, so the number of monthly sales, so it was $59 a month. The number of sales was 50 sales at $59 a month. And that accounted for 60.98% of the total sales. Then we had 20 people take us up on the yearly, which was $348, I believe. And that was 39.22% of the total sales ended up buying yearly. Unlimited, which is where you just pay one time, it was $599. We had 11 people take us up on that, which accounted for 21.57% of the total sales. We also had 27 people take us up on a $19 order bump, which was a 32.93% of people that also bought the order bump, which is really, really good in my opinion. And then the upsell, we only sold 7, which was 8.54%. So I definitely think I'd like to see that like at least above 10%. So I think we can definitely improve there as well. So our goal actually was 51 sales for Freedom Creator Club, and we ended up getting 82. So we definitely blew our goal out of the water, which is awesome. So we reached 160% of our goal, which is super cool. We had 27 order bump sales, 7 upsells, and we actually brought in $17,779, but the screenshot from system said $17,201, which is why I made it the title of this video, because otherwise people would be like, well, why don't the numbers match? So my guess is either some people might have emailed in to pay a different way that wasn't collected through system. And I think we also had somebody buy yearly and they were like, we meant to buy monthly. So that's kind of why the numbers are like slightly off, but they're not super off. We can just say between $17,000 and $18,000. Okay. So overall, really happy we hit 160% of our goal. So what would I do different for next time? Well, I would study the graph for the webinar and see where are people falling off. How can I make it more interesting? How can I make it shorter? How can I make it more helpful? Although people were really raving about it, so that was really cool. How can we improve our opt-in pages so we can get higher opt-ins? How can we improve our sales pages? Really just look at all the data to see what can we improve. I know right away standing out to me that we could improve our upsell because that was only like 8%, and I'd like to see that above 10%. We could improve our waitlist because we only got 8 sales from that. And we could also add in some more strategies to get more sales from that too. So let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful. If you want more data and more launch and promotion and webinar and things breakdowns, let me know in the comments below. Now that you know my strategy that brought me in $17,201 in 6 days, you might be wanting to learn my strategy for how I've brought in over $8 million in digital product sales to date. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be way more powerful. See you in the next video.